Review Manchester United versus Crystal Palace. Are you wanted another day out at Wembley, Reds? Because I certainly do. So I'm hoping Erik Ten Hag and the boys take this competition seriously. You get involved in the chat as ever, and we'll discuss some of your comments throughout the video. Carabao Cup, it's currently our cup. Do you want that other day out at Wembley this season?
Yeah, every United fan should want another day out at Wembley. It's where Manchester United belong. I think it's important to defend the cup. United need to get off to a good start in this cup competition. It will help going forward. But United have to be seen to be competing for honours. We won it last year, did us the world of good, did the fans the world of good. And I'm just looking at Erik Ten Hag here now, and I'm thinking he's going to be on the front foot with the team selection to try and compete for this cup again. But it is important. It's what United is all about. Trophies, getting them on the board and competing. And I think this against Crystal Palace, I think it'll be tough. I think they will come here to Old Trafford to make their own headlines, and it'll be big headlines. So it's very important, not just defending it, but actually to put a side out there what's going to attack. And I think Erik Ten Hag will want to be on the front foot. So I'm really looking forward to it. But in a way, I'm also smiling at myself because I know that this could be a little bit tricky.
Well, it's a potential banana skin, just like any game. And when it's a cup competition, you do normally see banana skins in certain rounds. So let's hope it's not tomorrow. I don't think it will be. I'm fully confident in Manchester United progressing against Crystal Palace. But when you said team selection before, I think there's a lot of opinions between us two, everyone out there. Should he start strong? Should he rotate a bit? Maybe start the likes of Hannibal, Mejbri maybe. You know, should we see Sofian Amrabat make his first start for Manchester United? But what's your thoughts on the starting 11?
Well, my starting 11, he'll go attacking, but I think we're going to be surprised. Well, I hope I'm surprised with his team selection. For a start, when I say he should be on the front foot, I think really when you look at what's gone on at the early part of the season, you've got to look at this cup competition and mix it up, especially at this stage of the side. At this stage of the season. Now, if you look at Palace, I don't think they'll go full strength. So why should Man United go full strength? I look at it there. First of all, I look at the three forwards. What are we going to do? Well, I just look at Garnacho, I look at Pellistri, and I also look at Anthony Martial. To me, that is on the front foot. That's how I see it. Other players can get a rest, but that's not to say that that front three is a poor front three. It is an attacking front three. And that, for me, is the way to go. And I think Erik Ten Hag really should do that. A lot of people will not agree with me on that. Maybe Erik Ten Hag won't agree with me on that. But I just look at it. It's the first round of the Carabao Cup for us, entering into it. And I think, really, will it be such a strong Crystal Palace side? Well, we've got them on Saturday.
Name me your front three again. Let me get
Garnacho.
Go on. Let me get a feel of it.
Garnacho.
On the left.
Anthony Martial and Pellistri. I think the reason I say that is because Erik Ten Hag will have a strong bench. And that's what you need. Because you have to put trust in your players. And if things aren't going right, and I've seen it many times in my lifetime, that you experiment with the team and then things aren't going right. But you've been able to turn it round because of a strong bench. So I expect a really strong bench.
Yeah, I'm a little bit old school kind of way thinking that we should start strong always in every competition, whether it's the Premier League or Cups, and, you know, get the game won on that 60-minute mark, 70-minute mark, then make your changes. Don't get me wrong, I do think for this game that your likes of Hannibal, who I think against Brighton when he come on, scored a worldie. You've seen what it meant to him. Played well as well against Burnley. I think he had 91% pass completion rate against Burnley. And, you know, Burnley had most of the possession in that game. Let's have it right. So I'd like to see Hannibal start. Is it a bit too much, though, for Sofian Amrabat to replace Casemiro? Yeah, I'd rather see Casemiro start this one and maybe Amrabat come on and get some minutes, maybe half an hour, if we are in a position where we're, let's say, 2 goals in front.
Listen, I want Amrabat to start. I want Casemiro on the bench. That just adds to the strong bench. I want Mason Mount on the bench. I think it's too early for him to come on. I want Amrabat in there, without a shadow of a doubt. I want McTominay on the pitch. I want Eriksen on the pitch. That, to me, is fine. So there's 6 players there's 6 players I've picked. I think they're capable of doing the job, and you have to look at it, who you're playing. We won't be playing the strong side, what's going to turn out against United on Saturday. So at the end of the day...
I don't see McTominay and Amrabat starting together with Eriksen in there, but that's just my opinion.
No.
I'd like to see Casemiro at the base, then you've got Hannibal, and let's see who can play alongside him. Maybe Mason Mount, if he's fit enough to come in alongside with that midfield three. Would he put Bruno out on the right-hand side like we've seen him do against Burnley? I'm not too sure. There's plenty of decisions out there for Ten Hag to make and us to having an opinion on the conversation.
But I look at it this way. Hannibal, great game. Great game against Burnley. Course, yeah. I think just put him on the bench, right? That's a strong bench. That adds to the strong bench, okay? Yeah. Remember, he can bring subs on at any time, so there's no worry here, okay? Then I look at the defence. I think Varane should start alongside Johnny Evans. I haven't got a clue who's going to be left back or right back. And then I look at the goalkeeper, Bayende, whatever. I mean, if my pronunciation's not right. Bayende, thank you. Right? That's what I expect. I want a really strong bench. That's what I want, because that can turn the tide at half-time, 60 minutes, 70 minutes, if things aren't going right. I also look at the injuries we've got. Is it right to put a full side out like we did against Burnley? I don't think so. I think some of these players, like Bruno, should be on the bench. I think Casemiro should be on the bench. That's what I'm looking for. Many teams will enter this competition and not play the full-strength side. But that attacking side, them front three, are there to work back and then to run and attack and run into that defence. You look at Garnacho, you look at Pellistri, 2 of them on the pitch. They will go down the wing and go running into that area. You've just got to give them the ball. Doesn't matter who's on the pitch behind them, okay? Whether it's Casemiro or Amrabat. That's how I look at it. That, to me, is a great side for the Carabao Cup, and away we go. Yeah, it's just that, just being honest with you, with what games we've seen already this season, I've not really seen Manchester United in a dominating position for, let's say, 70, 80 minutes in a game where they've found a real rhythm in the game. And I just think for this one, too many changes, you're not really going to get a rhythm, I don't think, in this game. So I think you need some of the more experienced heads, the people who will start regular week in, week out in this game, to try and find a little bit of rhythm, something to kick on from as well into the Premier League and the Champions League as well. It's a cup game. Rhythm doesn't work. It's a one-off game. Of course. That's how I see it. There's no long-term here playing Crystal Palace. These are the type of games we're playing week in, week out. No, Premier League is completely different. This is a cup game, and the crowd want to see a cup game. And a cup game is all about attacking and going for it and excitement. And if you've got Garnacho and Pellistri on there, that's what you will get against this Crystal Palace side. Like I said to you at the beginning, Crystal Palace will come hoping to create headlines. I think whatever team they put out, I don't think they'll put the strongest side out. They won't put the strongest side out, but they'll go for it because they have absolutely nothing to lose. I know, but that's gain everything. But that's when you want a strongest side out, though. You can't be just making loads of changes in your starting 11 when, like you yourself say, they're going to come here and attack and they want to make headlines. So you want to start, in my opinion, don't get me wrong, it's just my opinion. You've got yours. Let me know yours out there. But I think you should start strong and maybe, change 2 or 3 positions. Maybe, like I say, keep Hannibal in the team. Bring Varane back with Evans at the back. That's an old-headed defence there in the centre. Enough experience in there. Reguilon, is he going to start on the left? He was ill and he had to get brought off against Burnley. Will changes have to be made there already just because of him? So I don't want too many changes to the starting 11 because I don't want this to be a banana skin and we get knocked out. Look, I want to go to Wembley this year. Look, and I don't know if you do, but I definitely do. You can put your full side out, your strongest side out, and it can still be a banana skin. Yeah, of course. Right. So I'm looking at it from a fan's point of view, from the people what are going to make the trek to Old Trafford on a Tuesday night for a Carabao Cup. Okay, that's how I look at it from a fan's point of view. I want an exciting game. I want an open game. Okay, if it all goes pear-shaped, so be it. We've had a go. We've got people out there. We're giving them a chance to show that they deserve a chance going further down the line. That's how I look at it. This is a Carabao Cup. It's also a part of an experiment, okay? And at this time of the year, the way the season's gone, go for it. And it will do us the world of good, seeing players out there basically showing a free spirit. That's how I look at it. It's a cup competition. They will do the same. They will be free. They might even beat us. I don't know.
No,
I don't think so, right? But the thing is, they're there. They will attack. They will have the instructions to attack, go at it, because they've got nothing to lose. We've got everything to lose, but let's show something out on the pitch that we can attack, give the fans to get on the feet and cheer. It is important for United, right, to defend this cup, but do it in the right way.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. It's just that, like I keep going back to there, the games we've already played this season, you've not seen a proper rhythm from the starting 11 he would normally play week in, week out. And I just think this game would give us a bit of a springboard and a confidence boost if we beat Palace, go into the next round as well. But give him that confidence and going into the weekend against them again. Then we've got the Champions League, other big games coming up in October. So we do need to start building some momentum here, confidence-wise, and rhythm and style that we see on the pitch. And I just think too many changes, it might just be a bit of a mismatch and just go pear-shaped, and I don't want that.
Listen, I look at it, strong bench. Very, very good, strong bench. That's what I want.
One question, would you change the goalkeeper for this?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bayinde.
Yeah, Bayinde is my goalkeeper.
Yeah. Tom Eaton. He's available, sure. Would you maybe pick him?
Bayinde is my goalkeeper.
Yeah.
The only things I'm not sure about is my two fullbacks.
Yeah.
But I do believe that side, what I've picked, is a strong side. They're all quality players. It's as simple as that. They are quality players. I don't see why anyone out there should worry about that side, what I've picked. Well, the players, what I've picked. I've picked 9. I just can't work out my two fullbacks. But it is strong. It's just something different. But at the end of the day, cup competitions, you go for it. It's a one-off. It's 90 minutes. Go for it. And this side is capable of doing it. And if it's not going right, then there's players to come off the bench, which then will excite the crowd, get everyone up for it, and away we go. But also, it is a testament to Erik Ten Hag management and his skills of how he goes about this game. So that'll be interesting to see if it does go a little bit wrong, how he deals with it.
Okay, I think you just like the chaos, to be honest with you, and you want to see a little bit something different.
No.
So there's a little bit of chaos, a little bit of edge to the game, and you want to see...
I like that, but what it is...
I know he does.
Yeah, I do like that, as you know. But the thing is, I also look at it, I go back, and you mentioned old school. I'm old school, and I remember going to cup games and just wanting to see attack, go for it, get the crowd up and all that. It's one-off. And if it goes pear-shaped, like I said, then so be it. That's the way it is, you know. And then we move on. We move on to, like, Saturday against Palace. Then we move on to, like, the big cup competition, the Champions League against Galatasaray. So at the end of the day, go for it. The players are there good enough. And if them players aren't good enough, it also tells us, hey, you won't be getting in this team again. Do you know what I mean? So players have to perform. And it's also a good kick up the bum for some of these players to be on there to show that they're worth getting in this 11.
Yeah, just coming back to our previous match previews last season, and we was always thinking to ourselves, pick that player, you know, make 2 or 3 changes when we've been playing like 2 games in like 3 days, 4 days. And he always used to just start his strongest 11 every single time. So I've also got that in mind in how he sees the game coming up.
Yes.
He wants to win every single game. I think we've all seen that with him in his press conferences. But yeah, I'm just going to go into the chat. DB Cooper says, the only thing I really want to see, for sure, is Garnacho starting, which you do want to see as well.
Yeah, Garnacho, I think it's made for him. Under the lights, Tuesday night, I think it'll be excellent for him. And you've also got to look on Palestri. It's made for Palestri as well.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It is made for Palestri. You know, it's not the most difficult opposition in the world. And if they are weakened, I think it'll do the world of good for Palestri and Garnacho, both out on the wing. You know,
they'll have a tough task in this one, though, if that Eze plays on their left-hand side. But what I did see in the first half, at least with Palestri and Delo as a partnership, worked really well, with Palestri getting back, helping out Delo, defending as well, with Delo going forward.
I think Palestri's already got it in his mindset to help whoever is at the back anyway, and to come back and help the midfield. But the kid works his socks off. I criticised him for heavy breathing and not running back the other day, but I think he'd run his course, to be honest with you. Right, the kid is willing and he will work hard. He doesn't have to play the full game. Garnacho doesn't have to play the full game, but what you have to do, you have to put these two lads on, because they will go for it. It doesn't really matter when you worry about the opposition, Crystal Palace. This is Crystal Palace, not the most difficult side to come to Old Trafford, but at the end of the day, they're there to be had, and to be had by people who are willing to run and run.
Yeah, no, I get it. The people who are on the fringes, like your Garnacho, your Palestra, it's their time to shine kind of thing, and put something in for the manager then to have a bit of a headache come the weekend against Palace again. Like, look, did you see my performance Tuesday night? I want to start again against Palace on Saturday. So I do get where you're coming from, but I'm just going back to last season, this season, how he normally sets his teams up. He wants to win every single game and put his strongest 11 out. But
can I just say something? I look at that, what you just said about last season, he wanted to put his stronger. I think what it is last year, I don't think he could trust all the players. It was a learning curve.
Yeah,
I think that's what it was with him. Whereas now he's now got more of a field to who these players are. There's one or two he's still got a doubt about, but you can't tell me he doesn't trust Palestra, Garnacho.
No, good point. That. Let us know what you think on that. Ross Hughes says Saturday's match is the priority, so rest the players who need it. Do you think players really need a rest at the time in the season? Do you think so?
Oh, yeah.
Already?
It's important, but it's more important because of the start we've had. It's been a difficult start. We've had chaos off the pitch, chaos on the pitch, loads of things surrounding this club. It's been a pretty traumatic start to the season, to be honest with you. And Saturday is the most important. Them 3 points, getting them 3 points at home against Crystal Palace is more important than this cup competition at this moment. Yes, it's important to defend it, but I want to go and try and defend it in the right way. Just go out there, express yourselves, get that team out what I've picked, and then go for it. And that's how I see it. There is more important things, but it's also, you have to remember, it's important to compete in every cup competition. This is Manchester United. So you have to have a go at it, but go at it in the right way.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Curlers in the comments says, cup games are a good way to make sides find form and get and gel as a unit.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to use a strong side and start fast and get ahead in this game. Then we can start bringing the kids on and bringing others on. So I'm obviously with you there, Curlers, with my point of view. But I totally get yours and other people's as well in starting the likes of Garnacho, Palestra.
Yeah. Well, what it is, I look at the people who are sat on the bench. If this team goes out there, right, and then lights up the crowd and that, it gives everyone a G up. You know what I mean? And then when he does make changes, whether it's on 70 minutes or half time, someone coming on will already have the buzz, and will want, those on the bench will want to get on the pitch and enjoy the evening's work, enjoy it with the crowd and all that. So that's what it is. We need a lift. We need players to go at it. And like I say, it's a cup competition, and really, under the lights, it should be a big night, really, for the fans.
Yeah, Paul Waters says, Maguire, Martial, Amrabat, Bayinde, Mount, and Van De Beek. I think these will start. Well, hopefully Van De Beek doesn't start, because I think it's just a waste of a shirt, if I'm totally honest with you. And I'd like to see one of the kids start over Van De Beek. I remember going back to Ten Hag's press conference in the summer in pre-season, and he said about Van De Beek and Williams at the time that their focus wasn't on Manchester United, and he was basically implying they were looking at moves out of the club. So for me, I think he's had his chance, Van De Beek, in his team, and there's kids out there who are a lot more hungrier and got more quality than Van De Beek now, who can come in and they perform a lot better than him. But that's just my opinion, my mate. You've got yours and everyone else.
I think Erik Ten Hag is already clear on Van De Beek that he's not going to get in this team no matter what. And I think as a fan, you've got to look at Van De Beek and say, well, this kid's not going to help United go any further. He's not going to make them any better. He's had plenty of chances, plenty of time, and it would be a waste of a chance for someone else on the pitch. I think it'd just be a complete waste. I'd be very, very disappointed if Donny Van De Beek got on that pitch in front of somebody else.
Well, definitely. I can't put Van De Beek in front of Hannibal. It's certainly not Hannibal.
I can't put him in front of anybody.
Yeah.
I've not seen anything, and I'd also worry that Erik Ten Hag has got it wrong. Would he be playing him for sentiment or something like that? But then again, it would go against what he did last year, trusting players, and he can't trust Donny Van De Beek.
Yeah, David Hatton says, my concern is more injuries, and that's kind of got that into my mentality each game we're playing. Like, fingers crossed we don't pick up any more injuries, because it does seem to be the case more often than not.
Yeah, it's just happening. I said it at the weekend. It just seems to be that this year the Premier League is picking up injuries. Players in the Premier League are picking up injuries left, right and centre more than I've ever known. It might be just because it's more highlighted on TV now, but to me, injuries is a problem. But you can't worry about that. And I think what it is, just go out there and just go for it. If you break down, you break down. Then there's something seriously wrong with how football is conducting itself, and there's nothing we can do about that.
Yeah, DB Cooper, I guess we should all remember Ten Hag sold Donny to us. Maybe he had his reasons, and I do remember Ten Hag being asked in a press conference when he was Ajax manager what his thoughts were on Donny not playing at Manchester United, and I remember him saying it was criminal that he wasn't playing, but
but that was him from afar and not being here in the Premier League.
Yeah.
The Premier League is the one what's killed Donny Van De Beek, because he can't compete in it. He's not strong enough. He doesn't seem to have the ability to cope with it. That's how I've always said it. And Erik Ten Hag making comments from afar means nothing, because he wasn't here. Now he's here, he fully understands what is what. He's not even brought him on at any time, anywhere, as sub. So to bring him on now, I think it'd be the wrong move. It'd send out the wrong. It's the wrong message. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, back into the chat. 20 Legend says Erik Ten Hag has dealt with every single issue he's faced masterfully. Massive issues that would consume other managers. He dealt with them and made the correct decisions masterfully.
Yeah, well,
that's the word. I like that one.
He's dealt with
a tongue-tied one for me.
Yeah, we know he's dealt with loads of situations, but this is a situation. This is a situation of players not having great form, the club not being in a great atmosphere, or there's nothing going really right. I mean, it could have gone wrong at Burnley, but it didn't, thankfully. The players, they scored the goal, then they worked hard and they battled for that win. So that was the only good thing in a short while, what we've seen. So Erik Ten Hag,
I think there was still positives to take from that Burnley game. Kept a clean sheet as well, considering the run of form that we've had.
Well, I did say
the likes of Hannibal come in. I thought he had a great performance as well. Johnny Evans, rolling the years back, and a player like you mentioned earlier on. I'd like to see him start this Crystal Palace game alongside Varane.
Who? Johnny Evans.
Johnny Evans, without a doubt. Yeah.
Well, he's there to come in there.
So just to interrupt you there, do you think he's now ahead in the pecking order than Maguire?
Yeah, without a doubt. Of course he's ahead. He was always going to be ahead of Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire, unless there was nobody else, then he'd get on the pitch. But there's somebody else called Johnny Evans there. Yeah. And Johnny Evans, let me tell you, there's no way Johnny Evans is not going to be in that team after that performance against Burnley. I mean, he actually did one of the best passes I've seen this season for Bruno Fernandes to score. He just split the defence from where he was. And Harry Maguire is no chance of getting in front of him. He lasted all that time on the pitch, Johnny Evans. And when you look at how much football he's played, absolutely excellent. Is it the future? No, it's not. But for this moment, Johnny Evans, who just walked down the road and knocked on the door and said, hey, I've got a spare pair of boots, any chance? Yeah. And he was let in. That's who's keeping Harry Maguire out, and quite rightly so. Harry Maguire has got no future here at Manchester United. And to be honest with you, I think Harry Maguire is now a sulker, bit of a disruption round the place by just being there. So Johnny Evans, when you've got the chance, get on there. And at the end of the day, we all know who the partnership is. It's Varane and Martinez. I don't think Martinez will start. I don't even think he'll be on the bench, to be honest.
What's your thinking round Martial, though, starting ahead of Højlund?
Yeah, no, that's right.
Why is that, though?
On the bench, Højlund on the bench. Come on, 20 minutes to go. Why not? The man's recovered, been recovering from a back, from a sore back and everything else like that. Yeah. So why do that? Why give him 90 minutes? Why give Martial 20 minutes at the end? No, put him on at the start. Let's see how fit you are. Let's see if you're up for it. You know, we've seen a glimpse of him the other night, not against Burnley, against Brighton when he come on, and he did like 10 minutes and he went for it. Well, start the game and let's see that. That's how you've got to view it.
Yeah. Anything to add before we go? I want your score prediction as well.
Score prediction, I'm actually going for Manchester United 3-0. I am, and it's not me being silly or anything like that. I actually view the game, right, as a free hit for some of these players to go for it and to impress Erik Ten Hag. It's not about getting through the game. It's not about building up a bit of confidence. This is a game where players can attack and just say to Erik Ten Hag, look, I'm here. You can see what I'm doing. And I think with players coming back as well, they'll go for it. And there's no reason why they shouldn't. Yes, it's important to defend the cup. It's important to try and win a cup. And when United are in any cup competition, they should go for it every time. But this Carabao Cup, under the lights, Tuesday night, let's give some cheer to the fans at home because we certainly need it.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean, to be honest with you. I'm going with that Bayende as goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Left back, Reguilon, hopefully, is fit. And then I'm going to go in the centre, Evans and Varane, Delo right back. Then in that midfield three, I want to see Casemiro and either Amrabat or Mount, okay, along with Hannibal. And then I think on the right-hand side, he'll probably play Bruno Fernandes. I actually do think he'll do that. Then I'll see Martial up front with Rashford on the left. I think Rashford needs to start building up some rhythm, some consistency and finding the back of the net as well.
Well, me and you on Tuesday night will be waiting for that team to come out, and I expect a lot of you.
He'll be
as
doing
well.
if it is his team, what he says, he'll be pointing the finger saying, look, I was right, I told you so.
Again.
And if it is me who gets a strong lineup as well, I'd be like, I told you so as well. Don't you worry about that one. But yeah, we want to know what your team selection is for this one. Your score predictions as well. So get involved in the chat. My score prediction for this one is going to be 2-0 Manchester United. And yeah, thanks for joining us as always. Smash a like if you've enjoyed it.
Come on, United.
Subscribe as well if you've not already done so. And we'll be back tomorrow straight after the game. I'll be doing my dad Tony's match reaction. And we've got Webby back as well. So I'll be doing a match reaction with Webby. So get your notifications on for them 2 videos and we'll see you there. Enjoy the rest of your day, Reds. And we'll see you tomorrow. Come on, Reds.
Come on.